So if you want to skip to the actual football stuff within this podcast, skip to 11 minutes, because the first 11 minutes is just me and Gaz chatting about all sorts about Christmas. And also Gary went corporate to the Brighton game. So he's just talking about his experience about that. So if you want to hear us chat about that for 10 minutes, 11 minutes, go for it or flick through it. It's quite nice to listen to. But if you want to start hearing about the Brighton preview, straight to that 11 minutes. Catch you in a bit. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow.
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue.
Yeah,
Happy New Year.
Unfortunately, that is who we're currently following.
I'm being cheerful because it's New Year. I'm not very cheerful, James. Not feeling very cheerful.
Come on, fresh New Year, fresh new Aston Villa, surely.
Yes,
but yes, so obviously we're, James Clifton here, your host, joined by my man Gary Bennett. First, how are you doing, Gaz? How was your New Year, Christmas, etc.?
Yeah, good, mate. It was really good, really chilled with family. And I'm just going to do, obviously we're both repping. It's been Christmas and New Year. You can tell it's kind of look what's been purchased. But watch this. Watch some time my headphones off. Look.
Oh, he's gone full kit.
Right,
he's full kit.
Come from this angle. I'm on my bed. So we've got the new shorts, right?
Mate, this could be an OnlyFans. This could be
a shirt underneath there.
Oh god!
And then time at least. As well.
Okay, right. So are you just relaxing, or are you going to play football, or?
I'm playing football later, allegedly.
Right, that makes a lot. More sense. I suppose you ain't got boots on already.
Mate, I'm thinking about going to Leicester game like this and just rocking onto the pitch and seeing what we can do at this point. Just kind of mosey on him.
What position? Right wing, yeah, because Leon Bailey's got nothing to.
Well, yeah, mate, I think I could do better. Like, I just wouldn't even have to try very hard. I just think I could do better.
Right. Well, we'll get onto that. We'll get onto that. So we're gonna. You didn't go like that to corporate, right?
No, I wasn't allowed. I had to pretend to be smart, didn't
I? So just onto that. So you went to corporate, didn't you, for the Brighton game?
I was very lucky, yeah. So the wonderful people of Acorns Children's Hospice sorted out 2 tickets for my birthday. So amazing. I went with you and, me and your brother, actually. So shout out to Pete Clifton. And I have to say, right, and it's really annoying because I guess it's just how the other half live, right? And if you've got money, beautiful. But the experience was awesome, right? So okay. I guess this isn't. I don't know where this sits on the corporate.
Is it? Which corporate? There's lots of hospitality and stuff.
Yeah. So obviously this season they've just sprung up all over the place. We went to the Gas Lamp, which is in the north stand, and it's those. I think they used to be boxes. It's behind the glass, isn't it? Just above the lower north. And you walk in, you greeted, you get a lamp, you get a can prepared. You get a lovely lanyard. Look. Corporate. Posh wanker. Right. And this is how I know it's posh, right? Because I'm a commerce. So they give us this little box and I thought, oh, little gift. What is it? Right.
Yeah,
so we open it up, and it is a luxury travel kind of thing for your suitcase.
Can you put your season ticket in that?
I could potentially put my season ticket in it.
Who needs to put his season ticket in that?
Because, it's not being travelled, mate, let's be honest, but this is kind of obviously for those corporate people that have those frequent flyer air miles, right? Yeah, and you put that on there. Yeah, for me, it's either going to go on a bag to Woolacombe or it's going to go, it'll put my season ticket in it. And it's got like a dog collar thing. It's very nice, right? But I thought, happy days. And you get a programme chucked into a boot, and there's the programme from
that's all right. Do you get food and drink included or anything? Or?
Yeah, so it's a 2-course meal, but it's like a buffet, and we had this wonderful mixed grill, mate, and it was the steak, gammon, sausages.
It wasn't just the stuff that you get at like the Punjabi kitchen in there.
It was steak and peppercorn sauce with then you had like all veg chips, and you could keep going up. Like it wasn't just like one round.
It's unlimited.
I went back for 2-3 rounds of chips off of them.
How did you do that when watching the footy? So at what point was that? Was that before?
No, it was before the game. So we have to get you can get there 2.5 hours before kickoff. So you just kind of you mosey on up, eat till you're about to explode, and then you get dessert as well. And then you get access to you only get 2 free drinks. You get 2 free drinks, right?
Okay.
So anything? And then you get unlimited tea and coffee and soft drinks, and then there's a bar where you can obviously buy whatever you want. and you get these. I won't lie, the seats were incredibly comfortable, mate.
Really?
They're wide, yeah, padded seats into like you basically in each box. There's probably about 24 seats, 2 rows of 12, I think it was. I can't remember, 10 or 12, I can't remember. And lovely, luxurious leg room, like just kind of heated. We had a little TV next to us, so we could see all the replays as they were happening, which was great.
Well, like each of you had a TV?
No, it was just one out on each end, but
Okay,
we
I
were
was
right by
gonna
the
say.
TV, so we got to. That would have been next level if we had each other
Yeah,
TV.
yeah,
To do like Sky Sports analysis as we were watching the game, mate. Stop
yeah,
coming
yeah,
on.
yeah,
It's fucking amazing. I guess that's the next level for corporate, right? You
yeah,
get
yeah,
instant tactics. Right,
yeah.
try this. I've paid Leon Bailey to do this.
Yeah,
like a
request
hung,
sub.
like a Hunger Games moment. It just comes through. Like if you don't do it, mate, there's a sniper on the roof who's going to take you out.
Yeah.
Right? Because I pay for it. Right? So yeah, and obviously the service is great. The people there are really friendly and kind of just will get you stuff, and it was just an all-round pleasant experience. But there is zero atmosphere in there. Like
I was
we
gonna
sat, like
say,
we sat with some. There was 4 of the guys that sat next to in the next 4 seats to us that were pretty sound, and then there was an elderly couple that sat in front of us, and then there was a guy with his 2 sons, right? And this is where you go. This is where our other half live, right? And the guy who sat 5 seats down was chatting to him at half time and went, "Oh, it's just like a treat for your kids." He's like, "No, we're season ticket holders here," and so the guy was a little bit pissed, and he went, "Oh, how much do you pay for that? Like season ticket holders here?" It's like, it's between 4 and 6 grand per person.
and there's 3 of them.
There's 3 of them, and he said, "I don't." And
It must be business. It must be through his
He
business.
must be, but his words were, "I don't like the kids to be cold in the winter." Right, and I also don't like the swearing, right? So I looked at your brother and I went,
Fuck off.
"Watch this." Fucking hell, Bailey, what are you doing? Well, I'm going out. I'm going to get chucked out of corporate right now.
Oh my god.
And so, yeah, it was all pleasant, but and I can't imagine. Well, the other thing was it was pretty cold towards the end of the night, and I was toasted. There was a guy who sat outside in front of us, in front of the thing, and he looked absolutely freezing. And I was just stood at the glass going,
I'm big because
toasty.
obviously there's Leicester this weekend and it's currently like 2 degrees or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, snow forecast for the weekend, isn't there?
What's that?
Allegedly, snow forecast. There's an amber warning on the.
Honestly, I might. It all depends on how bad it is. I might not be able to make it. Like I've
Well,
got,
I'm torn because I want to go, but Ava's supposed to be playing Doncaster. That's my daughter, everyone. She plays for
yeah.
Chesterfield. She's playing Doncaster Bells under 16s on. It's due for a 1 o'clock kickoff in Derby. But if the snow hits, then I don't think that will go ahead. At which time I'll try and go to the game, but it depends on how bad the snow is, whether the game will go ahead. Because if the stands are icy and slippery, they usually call it off, don't they? So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But corporate. It's nice to do occasionally, but the atmosphere.
How much was the ticket in there in the gas lamp?
So I did some research because on the ticket that I had, and I'm sure that because obviously it's linked to
Category A, by the way, that game.
Yeah, category A, really?
Yeah, I'm presuming it was the time of year rather than the opponent.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. So on our actual ticket, it said £100, right? But I think must have been the price that either Acorns pay for it or kind of gets because when I went online and looked at it, it's the gas lamp premium we had, which includes all the food and the drink and stuff like that, and that is £300 a ticket.
Because I was going to say because a normal ticket for that game was like £72.50.
Yeah.
But like £300, would you if you said if it was your cold hard cash £300, would you say it was worth it?
Nah, mate, not at all. Like the food was half decent, but I've had better in pubs, if I'm honest. Like it was nice, but again, what I will say, Villa are equal opportunity employers with their people that work behind bars and catering. Like they're all dumb as shit, aren't they? Let's be honest. I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but
it is terrible.
Like we are not Champions League when it comes to people working behind anything. Like just they're just useless. They are like at half time. Obviously, because it was pretty cold when we had access to tea and coffee, but the tea had run out. Right, I was like, I just said to one of them, I said, "Oh, can you top up the tea?" and either she didn't speak English or she just didn't. She looked at me as if I was alien. I was like, "There's no tea left in the pot. Can we fill it back up?" Like, just why is that a difficult question?
Yeah, no. For people that don't know, there was this thing which we call Chicken Gate, which was in the Trinity. There was Yardbirds Chicken, which all they said was chicken. All they sold was chicken and chips.
Yeah.
And every time I went there, they'd run out of chicken. Every time I was like, what do you mean there's no chicken? And then it'd be like 10 minutes. Right, okay, cool. I wait 10 minutes. I was there like an hour before kickoff. So yeah, 10 minutes. Okay, cool. Right, wait 10 minutes. Any chicken? No. Okay. You're now making a hot chocolate for this bloke, and I can just see chicken. I can see chicken going past, and I'm literally like, I want some chicken. I remember almost
people being given chicken. James waiting for this.
Mate, I was going ballistic. I'll find a photo and I'll flash it.
Yeah, I think I've got a photo of that, mate. That was
it's absolutely ridiculous. Most ridiculous thing ever. Anyway, we've managed to do 10 minutes of chatting and we haven't even spoken about any game or anything. So
there we go. Let's go on to the Brighton game.
I'll probably put a thing at the start that says we chat crap for about 10 minutes. So if you want to actually find out something, just the
analysis starts here at 11 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So quickly on the lineup for the game. Obviously, Bailey started. No Mings again.
Yeah.
There was no Anana to start as well. So it wasn't Anana and Kamara together, which I actually thought was a bit surprising. I don't know if Anana was carrying a knock still or anything, but thoughts when the lineup came out? Obviously Watkins because Duran's out. So
Watkins was a natural thing, wasn't it? So we knew that was going to happen. But I was
Cash was out as well because of suspension.
Yeah, Cash was out. I know that people will sit on the fence with Cash, and lots of people don't like him. But I think he offers us. I think he offers us something in that right back position. And I just
being the right back. You mean?
Yeah, well, I can't. We're going to Conser at right back. I can't cope anymore.
We'll get to that. But the fact is, Mings, the right back.
Mings not starting for me. I think it's proven that he has to now after the start of that game, mate. Because that lineup, fine, okay, you've made the decision. He's not as if he's not done it before, and we've had that's been a lineup that's worked in the past, right? But the goal for the first goal, right? And we had a great view of this, right?
We hadn't even started. We were just not pissing about.
Mate, it is a Sunday league goal. Like two things happen that shouldn't never happen at any level of football, let alone at Premier League level, right? Lewis Dunk gets the ball and he's not closed down, and I don't know. I can't remember because I haven't looked it back at the highlights. But whether it's Watkins or Bailey who doesn't press, I think it's Bailey because Watkins tries to close the initial ball down, but Bailey's in no man's land because he's not at the halfway line marking who's playing left wing. He's in between and he's nowhere near Dunk. So Dunk then has a minute to kind of just spray a 50-yard pass. But as soon as that ball leaves his foot, you've got Konza and Torres, right? And neither of them go towards the ball, right? No. And as soon as it bounces, I'm like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah,
like, as soon as it bounces, you've got a problem.
Is don't let it bounce, right? Like that is like one
of you head the ball away. And in my head, not in my head, I shouted it out loud. Mings would have headed that away. He would have headed it away. He'd have just come out and one of them, and Torres looks at it. Excuse me. Looks at it, doesn't go because I think, and he kind of thinks he's going to go because I think Torres is probably closer to the ball.
Yeah.
But once they're indecisive, it's a goal, and it's just it is a terrible, terrible goal to concede. And straight away, you're on the back foot, and
yet again,
mate.
Well, yet again, just on another point, it's another early goal.
Yeah.
How many times? I mean, basically, we're going into games now where we're on -1.
Yeah,
because we concede so early, and I think are we on like -4 or something?
Goal is terrible, mate.
And it's like we're not firing enough up front to guarantee 2 goals a game.
But this is the problem. We were having looks, but we're going to need to average 3 goals a game by looks things. We keep seeing 2 in the last 5 games, whatever it is, right? So you'd have to score 3 to win the game.
See at the start, see at the end.
And well, I said to you in the last show, mate, that problem is we're not scoring enough and we're conceding for fun. It's a recipe for disaster. How we are where we still are is amazing. Like the fact that we're still within a couple of wins to being back in, up to 5th or whatever.
We are scoring. We're not scoring like we were. Well, actually, we're scoring, but we're not taking our chances.
Yeah.
So like, we should be like that game. We should have been.
Oh,
we should have won 4-1.
If you think about it, right, first of all, it was. We'll go back to the first half. I don't think it was ever a penalty. I think the first challenge that was waved away was probably more of a penalty than the second one. Right?
I agree.
It's barely any contact. Giving penalties for that, right? I know, because once you slow it down, it looks like there's contact, but he's barely touched him. When it happened in real time, I thought, nah, that's not a penalty.
It's also a case of like the thing that I was thinking when I was saying to Jess was that the thing for me is where's the advantage? Like, as in, where's the disadvantage to Rodgers? Because he's not going to get to the ball. He's not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
He's just kicked his foot and he's just gone down. And it's not really deviated the ball. It's not changed anything with him getting the ball.
Mate, Rodgers should be ashamed. He went down like he'd been free-footed. Do you know what I mean? Again, I'll take it all day long because it changed the game for us. I'd rather, but if that was against us, I'd be fuming. So we take the penalty. Great penalty from Watkins, by the way.
Really good.
Really good penalty. Right in the corner, sent the keeper the wrong way. And then we have. I mean, the rest of the half wasn't great. We had kind of half chances, but again, just not clinical. Bailey had a couple of times where he cut inside, and last year he just whip it in the far corner, mate. He just doesn't do it anymore.
Bailey, right? Yeah, for whatever reason, he's just not shooting. I don't know whether he's been told don't waste it, don't shoot when you don't think you don't know you're going to get on target. I know Emery has this thing about long range shots, and he says unless you're going to get on target, don't do it. But I actually think, other than that, I actually thought Bailey had an all right game. I actually thought like he was attacking, he was taking on defenders, he was cutting in, and when he went off, we had nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's difficult because there are elements to his game that are okay, but I'm just my problem with Bailey is I can compare him to last year where he was flying, and now he's just nowhere near the heights. He's nowhere near the heights.
Same with Watkins.
And it's the same with Watkins.
You compare him last season.
So I don't want to scapegoat the two of them, but naming them, but both of them on whatever day it was.
Clinical enough. That's the problem.
Mate,
I actually think like, again, and you're going to disagree, I actually think Watkins had a good game.
Oh, here we go. Right, because in the stats he scored one, he got an assist. He
got an assist. He scored. Right?
So that's all he's done for 90 minutes, but he's missed 4 open goals, right, where we could win the game 5-2.
The guy ran tirelessly. He played the channels. He got the ball. It was an outlet.
I don't disagree.
I know. But for him to be doing that and be the man on the end and clinical, and it's like which is why I think Emery keeps on going. Watkins and Duran can play together, which I think would work. But Watkins probably does need to play left wing. He probably does need to be the left winger.
Okay.
But it's kind of like Gabby back in the day, right? He did that with John Carew. And it's kind of like a thing of it, and it's frustrating because Ollie had the chances. And I think, right now I would 100% say Duran is more on form. He's the guy who's going to score the goals. Like, if you need the goals, play Duran.
Mate,
but I did think Ollie actually had a good game. I think he influenced the game. I think he did well. I think he got the assist. He took a good penalty.
He did very well. Right, I don't disagree with any of that. Right,
he just didn't score an open play.
That's put the ball in the back of the net, right? Which is what needs to be done. And like the chance at the end, right? You think.
That was killer.
It's a snapshot. I get it, right, but it's not your centre half running onto it. It's not your left back or your. This is your main striker.
Just hit the target.
Hit the target. I think he actually hit the upper hole. Do you know what I mean?
That's what's so frustrating about it is just hit the target. We don't mind if the keeper saves it. Make the keeper save it. It's frustrating.
And it's a great chance, mate. And I just like you said, if that's Duran out of the chance, because it wasn't the only chance that Watkins missed. There was a couple where he was through one-on-one, and again he took about 10 touches to get a shot away.
Duran gets the chance though. I think that's our point.
Yeah, maybe, but either way, Duran puts the ball in the back of the net more, and I know that's as simple as it is, right? And this crucial time, and you know what? Yeah, I'm not just going to scapegoat Watkins because we've got to stop conceding goals. When was Man United? Was Man United last clean sheet we kept? Like, it's just in the league. I don't like. It's just terrible. It's absolutely terrible, mate. Like, we have to. Obviously Emery's got loads of fucking room in the bank to do what he wants to do, but sure, and he's not an idiot, and I'm sure he wants to rectify it, but I can't help but feel that we messed with our back line too much, so there's no consistency there. Now that Torres went off and he's potentially out for what 6 to 8 weeks, I think, because he thinks he's maybe broken bone in his foot, whatever. Right, so this gives us a perfect opportunity to play Mings and Konza, right? Yeah. Although Mings did look like he went down with a bit of a calf niggle. I don't know how bad that is.
Was he cramping?
I don't know, mate, but he missed the Forest game, didn't he? Because whatever, right? But so we'll see. Let's say if he's fit, but I would love now just to see Cash at right back, Mings and Konza in the middle, and Dina at left back between him and Matson swapping it up, right, and see how that goes. Like for the next 3 or 4 games, do not like Leicester on Saturday is a prime for that. Do not concede a goal against a team that is in just outside the relegation or in the relegation zone. Like it's not acceptable. Right now, that is a game where keep it tight, win the game comfortably. If we should, but I'd still take at this point a 1-0, mate. Get the clean sheet, get the victory, and move on.
This is the thing. The only reason the chances that Watkins and etc. are getting has been so highlighted is because we're not winning the games because we're conceding. So if we'd won that game 2-1, everyone would be like, oh, Ollie got a golden assist.
100%. And that is the difference, the fine line between this season and last season, mate. Where what did we go? Like 12 without conceding a goal or something like that.
Mental,
it was something meant, wasn't it? I don't know the exact stat, but that is the difference. So we were winning games 1-0, 2-1. We were winning by the odd goal, and that's why we finished in the top 4. Now it's kind of, look at the games we've conceded points against: Ipswich, Arsenal at home, Forest away, Bournemouth. Mate, you're looking at 5-6 games there. We'd be top of the league probably.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I'm just looking now, clean sheets. So the Champions League's meant. So I'm going to forget the Champions League because somehow we're keeping clean sheets in Champions League. We've only conceded like 1 goal, 2 goals. So, but in the league we had the 1-0 against Southampton.
Yeah,
which was just a terrible game in general.
Mate.
That was the worst game ever.
Gale Force was a point in that. Nearly died getting to the ground.
The Man U 0-0.
Yeah.
What else? Man U 0-0. God. I'm just trying to find any games where we won.
You're just struggling, aren't you?
We beat Wall. Oh no, that was back in March. Yeah, no, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That can't be it.
How depressing is that?
Hang on, we got a clean sheet against Warsaw pre-season. How's that?
Yeah, I was there for that. That was great.
Yeah, we kept 2 clean sheets in the league.
It's got to be.
That's shocking,
mate. So how's Austin McPhee and co judging that when you go into training? Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on?
And that's the thing, right? I think. Last season we were really hard to beat. Well, there was a few things, right? We were hard to beat, and whenever we attacked, we looked like we were going to score. Yeah. So we would. I remember there was a stat where our XG, we were massively outperforming our XG. We were literally burying everything. Yeah. This season, I think it's the other way around. I think we're conceding more than we're conceding XG. We're conceding stupid goals. And that's the worst thing about it is it's not, again, I think we spoke about this before. It's nothing about the other team's playing well. It's about us screwing up.
Individual mistakes, mate. Yeah.
Terrible.
I can't remember in all the games, even the ones where we've took a bit of a pasting, like Newcastle and whatnot, where we weren't in the game and didn't do something utterly stupid to gift them goals. Even the third goal, I don't know how do you fix it? Do you know what I mean? Again, for me, I think the problem is too many changes, swapping between Carlos and Torres and Mings and Konza, and that has been a problem. So, like I say, if we can just stick to a back 4, because
I think that's. Personally, I think that's a bit of a problem across the team. I don't think that's just the back 4. I think a back 4 is always massively important. We would have had to change Cash anyway, which always creates that problem of out the right back, right? He always talks about the fact that Torres and Mings can play together. Cool.
Yeah.
Do that then, because Ings is way better than Carlos. Like, why have we not even tried that? It's like, what the hell?
When Mings came on, it's point proven, mate. The first couple of things he did was just headed the ball away.
Yeah.
He just commits to it,
and he stands up and he's fast. So like when he's doing recovery runs, he's like, and he's so last ditch sometimes, Mings, and sometimes looks like he's struggling, and he's not. It's just the way he plays. He's full on, and he'll get a blocking. He always gets a blocking.
Under Emery, right? Because I know people say, "Oh, he's always had a mistake," and he did. But when Emery took charge, those mistakes for me were eradicated. Him and Konza at the back were immense, mate. They were both power horses.
Yes, they were one, other than Arsenal, they were like the best defence in the league.
Yeah. And Konza, as a centre back, he's sensational. As a right back, he's shocking. It's pointless. He's absolutely pointless, and it's not fair on him to. And when you've got, I'd rather play Costa Nedeljkovic there.
Yeah, what the hell?
What's the point? You've got a right back, and yet you're forcing Konza to make mistake after mistake. It's costing us games, man. Which clearly means he doesn't trust that Costa. He doesn't.
But surely he doesn't trust Konza more at right back. I mean, when you say he doesn't trust Nedeljkovic, I mean, that's basically saying, Nedeljkovic, you are terrible. Because
we'd rather have someone who's making mistakes and continues to make.
Because I also think the way Konza plays, he's kind of like Mings sometimes. He's quite nonchalant, a little bit kind of relaxed. And he relies quite a lot on like his football IQ, that kind of like turning and twisting. But when he's up against a guy with pace or something like that, he's got absolutely he's going to get no chance. Well, and also going forward, he's got nothing. He ends up with the ball in the final third, and he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he just goes back to Carlos or McGinn.
He's not an outlet going. He'll get into the position, but he's nowhere. He doesn't offer anything.
And that's why Cash. Whilst people moan about him, Cash is our best right back by an absolute mile.
Yeah, I agree.
But it has to be a place that we bring someone in Jan, whether they are starting, whether they are just a loan, whatever it is. Because if we do that, we can play our starting centre back pairing regardless of if our right back's out.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens there, I guess. But I'll just go back to with the transfers that Monchi was interviewed before the Leipzig game in the Champions League.
I heard about it, yeah.
And he said there would be incoming signings in January. I don't know how that looks in terms of outgoings, but there will be outgoings. Yeah.
Well, there has to be. I mean, Phil Coutinho is still on our books, so I don't know whether like an extended loan or something there. There's Philogene. Are we going to keep him? I don't know. There's lots of fringe players, I think, who are still technically on our books and stuff, who just need to get gone.
Yeah, it's frustrating because I said this to your brother on the Brighton game. I always feel like we're being hypocritical because we've been on this upward trajectory.
Right? And there will be a dip, right? There
has to be a dip. So I think it's just when you can almost smell being close to going to the next level, right? You're this far away from really breaking into maybe and disrupting that top four. And I come back to we've been screwed over with FFP, not being able to really invest. And then the players that we lost last year, the ones that we brought in haven't replaced them naturally. Diaby's massive miss.
Half of them have gone back out on loan.
Yeah.
Dougie Luiz, we got Barrenechea and Samuel Jr.
So what looked like his ripe squad of potential is now 3 players in 2 positions.
You're replacing Diaby with Philogene, who's just like a championship player, and it's just not. It's just not working. I mean, we'll get on to silly season in a sec,
and the biggest thing for the miss of Diaby is the form of Bailey, because I truly believe that the pair of them together were just this motivation where they played together. When they played together, they did well. But if we were started, it was almost like a drive. And Bailey upped his game last year because he felt like he had to.
I think we thought Bailey was just going to kick on and just still continue that, but
he's gone backwards, mate.
He's an absolute shadow. And the thing that gets me with Bailey is that I can only think he did this before. He has to be playing injured. He has to be playing with an injury because he's got no pace. He's got nothing. He's got no confidence.
Oh, mate, I need to fucking tell us that because I'm going to. I swear to God, Saturday I'm just going to 2-foot him myself, and he will be injured, right? Because he needs to rocket up his arse. It's unreal. What is he doing? I don't care what you say. 99% of Villa fans will go, look, it doesn't matter how well you play individually, right? Because form can be temporary and it can come and go, right?
Yeah.
But your energy levels and your work rate, like that should be there. And like I say, he has been an absolute shadow of the player that he was last year, and it's costing us. But he's got no competition either.
The work rate thing, I think, going back, like defending isn't good. He's not good enough. Last season, he was actually quite good, like covering as well. This season, he's not doing that. Guessing probably because he's like, I want to be higher up. I want to have an advantage and try and beat a player so I can get a goal once in every 100 games. But he's like, I do whenever I see him at Villa Park, whenever we go, well, I mean season ticket holder, but wherever we go at games, I do watch him, and he does keep making runs. He doesn't stop. He does just keep doing it. They're just not feeding him. They're not giving it.
Yeah.
They're not all giving it him. And last season, I feel like they would basically look up, find Bailey, bang, and it'd be straight in. Whereas this season, I don't know whether they don't have the confidence in him. Sometimes,
well, do you know, you might have a valid point because there's something that I did notice during the second half of the Brighton game. Right, there was, I think, McGinn and Tielemans both created space for themselves to play balls in behind, and it was before he went off. But both him and Watkins didn't make those runs, and both you could see Tielemans and McGinn both looked up to kind of play a ball, and it wasn't there, so they ended up cutting back and either losing possession or like we recycle the ball again, right? Yeah. But I just thought it was strange that both of them didn't make the run. Like, and it was on. I even said, like, and usually Watkins is great at doing that. But so again, we're talking his confidence is just low. So whether they're not anticipating the ball or whatever, but we're not moving. And this is the biggest thing, our biggest issue, mate. Because I don't think we played particularly badly against Brighton. I thought we did okay, but
that first 20 minutes or so of the second half, I thought
Mate, after we scored the second goal, I thought, right, here we go, let's kick on. And we pinned them in, but we were just not clinical. And then when they made their substitutions, Matoma tore Conza a new arsehole, mate. He couldn't get anywhere near him.
Matoma, he's amazing.
Mate, I'd take him. Let's go and buy him, grab him. Like, I want him now. Like, let's fucking January. Come on, over you come. Brighton as shit. Come on, right? We'll take him. But it was the tempo of which we play at times is so slow because I know, right, obviously that's Emery ball. He wants to play with possession, right? But surely, as a player and as a coach, like there's a time and a place for it. It's decision making. Like there's times to be controlled and keep the ball and be patient. But then there are times when you make that pass and it happens so quickly. And we did it against Man City. This is the frustrating thing. The first goal against Man City, bing, 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 goal, right? 3 passes. That's all it took. And then at Brighton, same sort of thing, same position. Tielemans, McGinn in that position, turn to go and play the ball forward, no option. Right? So, and it wasn't as if that Brighton were defending better. They left the gaps. The gaps were there. But we're not making it. So it's all about consistency. We've been so inconsistent. Like you turn up against Man City, arguably one of the best games of the season. Absolutely, again, batter them off the park, in my opinion. Right? And I know they're down like with us. It's terrible, isn't it? In the worlds of 5th to 9th, right? Whatever. Right? Again, this is why I sound like such a twat complaining about it.
Still top half, even though we're having like a
we're in relegation battles here. That like we're complaining about the
on the verge of last 16 of the Champions League. You know.
Yeah. Oh, damn it! Right. So it's my diamond shoes are definitely too tight right about now. But it's just like I say, it's that dream of going to the next level of disrupting that top 4 and you know the next 3 games are massive because we could be out of the race for European places, and that is not just. I think top 4 is probably already gone, if I'm honest. But
it's
not like we're gonna have to go on. We're gonna have to go on a run, mate. We need players to step it, and I'm not saying we can't, but we're struggling at the moment.
So next up, we've got Leicester and Everton. They're our next 2.
Yeah.
For me, if we don't get 6 points from there, then we're in serious doo-doo. Like as in something's going massively wrong.
Yeah.
To not get, I mean, Everton can be a bit of a weird one, but I think that Everton will come at us. They'll try and because they won't see us as the Villas last season. We're not Arsenal, we're not Chelsea, we're not, and they will try and come at us. And I think we'll expose that. Leicester are a bit of a weird team in that I think we've only won once in our last 3 at home against them.
They've always been Jamie Vardy effect in it, but he's not.
They've always been a bit of a
Isn't
it Iheanacho always scored against us like with them?
Well, the pair of them, mate, and he used to always celebrate in front of the whole like a twat, didn't he, Jamie Vardy? He needs to focus more on his twatty wife than he does like fucking like playing football knob. Thankfully he's out.
But you say about this, we are. And I know those other teams are still playing as well. We're 6 points off fourth, so it's not. And we keep talking about it, but at the moment they just keep going. We still expect Forest to drop off.
Yeah.
We still expect probably Bournemouth or Fulham to drop off. So by default, we should be kind of 5th, 6th. So,
providing we actually get going, because we haven't.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what we were saying, right? When are we going to get going?
Yeah.
We thought what was it? We had 3 wins on the trot, and we thought that was it.
But
and then
it's just back to basics, isn't it? I think we're not far away from being it. I just think now is the time with what's going on with injuries and stuff, that you can probably get a little bit more of a settled squad and stick with a back 4, stick with a midfield pairing, but Onana, Kamara, Tillemans, McGinn, right, playing out left where JJ. Good to see JJ back, by the way, on thingy.
Yeah, I thought he looked all right as well.
So it might be a case of dropping McGinn and swapping him with JJ. But Rodgers, I have to say, I know he had a great game against Brighton. He's been our most consistent performer, mate. No, he still needs to score more goals and get more assists, but he's a threat. People don't like playing against him.
I think he's the only one outside of Duran and Watkins who are actually scoring goals.
Yeah. So I think, but I'm worried about him because he's played every minute. Like he's not missed a game. He thinks shit, is he going to end up being injured or at burnout? But it's difficult to drop him when he's probably your most consistent performer. And I know people get frustrated with him that he gives the ball away too much, but he's the only one that's trying to do something. Do you know what I mean? And so I think that's why Emery picks him.
I think he's kind of, I would say he's undroppable. However, I think Tielemans can play that role. And if we're playing Onana and Kamara in holding, and then we've got McGinn out wide on the right, I don't think there's a problem with. Oh, and then if JJ's fit, he's the alternative, right? So he'd be able to play on the left. Yeah. So good, give Rodgers a rest. It's just JJ hasn't been fit. So to be fair, we haven't had much of an alternative.
I mean, that's ultimately, if you go back to when we're talking about the signings that we've made and lost over the last 12 months, like JJ would have been an optimal figure to really raise the game and play in that position and be one of the main men. And the fact that he's been injured is just.
I think, unfortunately, he's going to be one of those players that isn't going to reach those levels because he just keeps getting injured. There's so many players who have done that over the years. It's frustrating because he was like on the verge, like England, and he was like, like one of the best. He was like Rodgers. He was looking like one of the best young talent in the league.
It's just keeping him fit, isn't he? He broke his foot in international, didn't he, for under 21s for England, and he's just not recovered from it.
Under 21s, and that's why Emery gets so frustrated. I think that's partly why Emery gets so frustrated with the whole Rodgers thing, because he's been burnt there before. He's you're playing these meaningless games that the players are like, okay, but what are they actually going to learn? And they're getting injured. It's just frustrating. Anyway, on to transfer window. So silly season is about to. It's started. I think
January is upon us. Yeah.
Did it start yesterday? I think there's one firm incoming that has kind of it's in discussion. I believe there's been bids rejected and stuff as well, which is Daniel Malen from Dortmund. He's an ex-Arsenal winger. He's rapid. He's kind of essentially what we're talking about on that right wing.
Yeah.
So he's the player who seems like we're looking at, but I know that you're very much a case of until they're holding that shirt, I do not care.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. We'll see what happens, and we do need a right-sided player.
And we do tend to get our business done quite early.
Yeah, we do. I'm expecting announcements in the next week or so of something happening. There's always lots of speculation when it comes. I've read lots of stuff over the last couple of days. There's the guy from Atalanta, the main striker that they've talked about. I can't remember his name.
David. What's it? David. Isn't it David? No.
I don't know. I very briefly saw a picture of him, and it was linked to. It was on All Things Claret and Blue, and you just go, I don't see that happening. But because it's all about firing the speculation of Watkins and kind of all that kind of jazz.
I don't see. Matteo Retegui.
Yeah.
I don't see us getting a striker. I see us getting a forward. So someone who can play that right wing.
And according to I can't remember at all, but apparently PSG are coming in for Duran in January. I read that the other day. Yeah,
Mawani part of that deal apparently.
So we don't know. We'll see what happens. I can't imagine, that happening, considering they've all just Watkins, Duran have all signed long-term deals, haven't they? So if you're going to sell them, it's going to
be. I can't see Duran going this season. If Duran's going to go, if it's going to happen, I think I was speaking to Pete about this before, and I was saying how Duran's that kind of player, does have a bit of an ego. I could see him going somewhere like PSG if they came in or whatever.
Yeah,
and actually forcing the move as well. But he,
mate, he's our Mario Presley. I'm telling you, if someone offers him 250 quid,
he's on 30 grand a week.
He's gone. He'll be gone. He'll be posting his PSG kit transfer. He'll be like on his way. The guy's mental. He's like he'd probably do it for an extra kit, probably. Like, knowing him, he's like, I don't need the money. They've offered me free kit.
He's. I think if he's going to go, it'll be next season. I think people want to see him do it.
Well, I think the fact that he was starting for us, in the last 3 games prior to being suspended, I think that will have given him a bit of a cushion to think, actually, I'm eventually Watkins out.
Yeah, and it might be, this red card thing as well. Even though I don't agree with the red card, some teams might still be a bit of like, he's a bit of a wild card. He's still a little bit kind of young.
He's only 21, and there's got there's a player in there, and he's been very, very good for us. I like him a lot. I do. And if I had to sell one of them between Watkins and Duran, it would be Watkins at this present moment in time.
Can you imagine? You heard it first here. Gary Bennett says Watkins going in January.
Yeah. Bye, Ali. Thanks for your service, mate.
Terrible.
We'll see you on Talk Sport with Gabby.
Right. Well, but that'll do it for this week. So the next one will be a preview of the Leicester game. That'll probably come out tomorrow, I reckon, with obviously the game on Saturday. So as always, guys, if you loved it, give it a sub. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And we always want to know your comments and stuff. So leave them down below. And we'll catch you next time.
Like and subscribe. Every week we follow the boys in Claret and Blue.